What is your effortless creation? Yes, I am channeling my inner Alex Harmozy today. I actually got sick recently, and these things have been the best invention ever. Like, don't talk to me about electricity. This stuff has helped me breathe. I am deeply grateful. Anyway, I want to talk to you about effortless creation, and it feels like the right time to talk about it because I'm sick. What better time to talk about being able to create than when your capacity is not really there and your body is like, no, and your mind is like, no, and then another part of you is like, fuck yay. Effortless creation, why is it important? Because you're gonna be doing it for a long fucking time. Content creation and being a creator is not something you do for like 3 months until things take off. That's not how it works. And I was telling my clients this week that it took me like 100 videos just to start finding my voice. And after I did that, I started watching other creators who have been doing it for like 7 years, 10 years, and they're talking about, yeah, it took us 100 videos just to discover our voice. I'm pretty sure I've seen people say that stuff before, and I didn't, something in my brain was like, yeah, but I'm going to be the exception. And of course I was not. But, you know, we like to think that, no, like it shouldn't be that long. It just feels so ridiculous. It feels so ridiculous when you're starting to create content. You're like, I should be better. This should work faster, and I shouldn't have any fears, and I shouldn't have any inner blocks. Then this should be working. It should be attracting clients, and I should be my full self-expression, and I should be making money, and I should be, and you know, and I should. And you think about all these things, and then you go in and you realize, oh shit, like it takes a few videos just to figure out, oh, I started making videos just to let that land. And then it takes a bunch of other videos to stop being afraid of trying. And then it takes more videos to work through the resistance. And then you go through phases of fear, doubt, and you're like, who cares what you think? And then your voice comes in and ruins it for you. And then you compare yourself to other people. And you go through all of these things and all these motions. And of course, it's different for everyone. But the inner work alone, for me at least, like, just to get to a point where I'm creating consistently and have like a system, a process that I know I can go from I want to create a video to I have a video to publish. Like ideation, breaking it down, organizing my thoughts, recording it, figuring out what the hell I'm saying and how to translate this into words, and then how to make words actually mean what I want them to mean, and how to even do it in the first place, how to stop being afraid. That alone took me so long. It took me a long time to make peace with making content. And then it was more than a year and a half before I could work up the courage to stop creating and pause. Like, this is long after I made myself start creating content and got consistent and learned how to do it in a methodical way and developed my templates and all that stuff. And then after that, there was a time when I was like, hold on, okay, I'm creating consistently, it's attracting clients and things like that, but I feel stifled. I'm not happy with my creative process anymore. I want to express something next, something more, something next. Cheers to next. So I started creating something next. And at first, the next for me was I need to take a few weeks off and rethink this whole content thing. Oh, look at that. I don't want to worry about what's expected of me, even though I thought I wasn't doing that. But I was still like, every time you peel a layer and a layer and a layer, and you're like, this is my voice. No, hold on. Then wait, it's getting closer. Well, I swear I can touch it. I can smell it. I can feel it. I know it. And then one day you realize you're doing it. And you forgot about it. You forgot about the finding your voice. You forgot about finding your style. You forgot about finding how to. You forgot about full self-expression. You forgot about being authentic. You forgot about trying. You forgot about all of it. And you're just sharing. And that day when you realize that your so-called content on social media is nothing more than an extension of who you already are in real life, that day, as a content creator, your life changes. Because you realize you don't have to try anymore. You realize you showing up in your effortless creation is enough for the next level and next stage in your business. Of course you want to create more. Of course you want to create better. But if you keep telling yourself that what you're creating is not good enough, if you keep comparing yourself not only to other people, but to the ideal version of yourself that you have in mind, if you keep feeling like your efforts aren't enough, your hard work is not hard enough, your intelligence is not enough, you're trying, your effort is not enough, well, A, you're not going to be motivated to do any more than that, of course, because you're never happy with your own performance anyway. But also, you'd be missing out on what's actually going on. Because what's actually going on is that you've been making progress the entire time. You've been creating, you've been doing it. And believe me, no matter how crappy it looks to you, the video that you're creating or the post that you put, no matter how crappy it looks and no matter how not well received it is, whether it's by the algorithm or by your actual audience or whatever it may be, it is still better. It's still a better place to be in than to be stuck in your own mind, in the echoes of your mind, thinking about, questioning what would be the right thing to do or right way to do things, trying to understand things with the mind, with the thinking mind, instead of experiencing them. One of the most valuable things I have learned in the last few years is the value of experiencing, just direct experience, and then sharing the direct experience rather than trying to understand things with the thinking mind. I like to think of the authentic selves kind of like really understanding anything. Let's just say water. It's one of the elements that we all have experience with. If you're a human being, you probably have seen and tasted water once in your life at least. So you probably know what I'm talking about. That thing, water, that we're so intimate with, that we think about, but we come in contact with every single day. Even something like that, we really don't truly fully know it. I mean, direct experience is probably the closest thing we know of water. I can talk to you about water. I can talk to you about the description of water. I can use words to explain what water is as far as its chemical composition or as far as the description. But it's not quite it. I don't know how to explain this. It's not it. It's the description of it. It's the label of it, but it's not it. But so what is it? What is water? I only know it through direct experience. I know it because I've experienced it in this separation, in this relationship as Aliana, as a different thing, experiencing this separate thing called water. Then I know I know. And this is how I know. It's like a different level of knowing that really includes the feeling and the belief. I have direct experience of what water is, and so I know it that way. But trying to understand it and explain it with a thinking mind and finding words to translate that experience, again, we can describe it, but it's not quite it. And so trying to share your experience with the world is similar in my experience. It's like you're trying to figure out how do I explain what's actually going on for me internally, what I'm thinking about. And at first I used to think, it's just that my thinking is so messy and I have to organize my thoughts and I have to improve my communication, etc., etc. And that's true. And there are skills to be learned there, but I will never be able to fully transmit what is happening internally with words. This is where direct experience comes in. And this is why I believe that really the best kind of content is where we are leading the way in our own lives and we are embodying the things that we talk about. And then when we talk about them, because we embody them, people just get it. I don't know how, they just get it, okay? And everything else that we try doing as content creators to try to get a better message across, the bells and whistles, they are important. They make a difference. Don't get me wrong. Like, I want to invest my energy and my time into improving those things. But I also know that the best magicians don't need a magic stick. And that it's not just about that. Yes, there are all the technical things that we can do as content creators. Yes, we can worry about all the things, but at the end of the day, if it's not me sharing my direct experience like this, it is not an effortless creation, because I am using my thinking mind, trying to beat the thing, trying to make sense of it, which is really just a matter of control, because when we understand it with the thinking mind, we think we have control over it. We think we have more control, period, because we can understand it with a thinking mind and then we can explain it with words, and that makes us feel smart and it makes us look smart. But in my perspective, there's nothing as valuable as sharing this direct experience of yours in whatever raw way it comes for you right now. Not even doing your best, just 80% of your best. Sure, show up with good energy. Sure, try a little bit of effort thinking about how you're going to present it, for sure. How are you going to structure it so that your message is organized? What title can you use that's going to attract attention maybe and get somebody intrigued enough to click and watch? Those things are important, but if underneath it all you don't have this foundation of sharing your truth and being okay with being seen wherever you are right now, even though you think the discrepancy between who you are and who you want to be is so vast, if you don't have that courage to allow yourself, and the self-love, really, it's not just courage, it's self-love. You've got to love yourself enough to say, you know what, I am more than good enough. I love me enough to allow me to express myself because my perspective matters. Because truly it does. It's not just this nice thing that I like to say, that we like to say, but if you truly think about who you are, as I always like to say, we are a unique expression of the same divine universe. It's the same divine consciousness is expressing itself in infinite ways. If you don't share your truth with me, as I don't share my truth with you, there's always going to be something missing. It's like the universe has created this variation, this separation, this transient period called you in this lifetime so that you can share what it's like from your perspective, which is the only way to see that is through you. There is no other way to see it, because this thing is not a can of water, even though it is. That's what we call it. We call this a can, we call this water, we call this, I don't know what color this is, pink. We call it whatever we call it. We create labels. Again, we call it water, but it's not, unless we directly experience it as a separate entity, there's no way to perceive it. And imagine if there were no human beings or no beings to taste water or be around water or interact with water the way we interact with it. Something would be fundamentally missing, right, from existence. So there has to be these infinite ways, and you are part of this infinity, and you've got to express that. You've got to express that in whatever meaningless ways that you could think of, in whatever topics that you want to talk about. Let your joy be your guide. Let love be the thing that guides you. Do you love it? Do you want to talk about it because it brings you joy? What do you care about? What's true for you? What matters to you? What are you going through these days? What can the world help you with? What can you help the world with? What's something joyful, meaningful that you can share of yourself that maybe potentially could be the ointment for somebody else? Or just the teaspoon of honey that just tastes really nice. And yes, it has all these properties to it, but we do it because it tastes good. I don't fucking know what I'm saying as I'm recording this, but the point is, I just want to see people share their direct experience. I'm not interested in information. I think existence doesn't make any sense when I try to understand it with the mind. Life, it only makes sense when I'm sitting and I'm listening to birds singing, and I don't even know that they're birds or that they are singing, but I'm just experiencing it. So can we get out of this and into this, which is the experience? Can we just experience the thing, and then can we try in our best, the best of our capacity, to share that with words, to play with this expression of like, I'm going to try to share my experience with you with words and see if I can practice my compassion as I'm sharing what I'm passionate about. I'm also being compassionate towards you, the listener. How can I phrase this in a way that's going to be interesting to you, that's going to be relevant to you? So I'm not just speaking at you. By the way, the other day I was just trying to chill outside, like somewhere in nature, and I didn't mean to overhear a conversation, but there were two people next to me, close, that were, one guy was talking about religion to the other guy was clearly not interested. And this guy was just going on, and he was very excited, very passionate, and I can tell very knowledgeable, but he was not aware that the other person was not interested in listening, and it was clear to me as a third party. And so it got me thinking about how when we are passionate about something and we care about it, we may talk at people a little bit instead of having a two-way conversation. And that's okay, that's fine. But also people aren't necessarily very interested in listening that way. So if something really matters to you and you don't give a shit and you just want to talk about it, then go ahead. But if it matters to you that you convey a message, a point of view, that you are an ambassador of a message, which is what the people that I work with, they're ambassadors of very specific, unique messages to who they are, their life story. If you are that person, then it is important to try and find a way to package what we say in a way that is viable commercially, that makes sense, that people want to click, that they want to buy, that they want to listen, without changing the truth of the message. And that's why it's so important to know what the truth of the message is. What is it that is a non-negotiable to you? What matters to you? What's important to you? What is part of your authentic expression? And then everything else, we should be open to experimenting and growing along the way. Share from wherever you are what is most effortless to you. I like to think of it as 98% you, 2% improvement or your edge. Think of one thing you can improve every time. Yes, make the effort to improve, make the effort to show up a little bit better, make the effort to do a little bit better, to create better, to improve, to grow, to stretch your capacity as a creator. But at the end of the day, it has to feel effortless. It has to feel like a natural extension of who you already are, not this completely different being that you have to transform into every time you click or record. You have to become somebody else. You have to speak differently. You have to show up differently. You have to have a different energy. You have to be somebody different, because it's very hard to keep that up. It's very difficult. And please get out of your fucking mind and into your heart. That's where all the wisdom is. And speak from the heart. If you do, you could never go wrong. Even if you don't have all the things, like I can think of a couple of clients for whom this is especially true, who are very, very much connected to their hearts, but they are so different from what mainstream marketing would say you should do. And I would never try to change the truth of who they are, because I know that is a part of their authentic expression. So I just let them do that thing that is so weird to most people, that everybody's like, oh my god, like you can't do that. But I'm like, no, but I recognize that is part of their authentic expression, so I have to help them protect that, because that is so important. It's part of what makes them who they are, and we don't want to fuck with that. You've got to know yourself and love yourself enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna go on this journey of discovering or rediscovering who I am. You've got to reconnect with past you at different times in your life, the different characters, avatars that you've played. Not only make peace with those different versions, but fall in love with those versions, because they've helped you get where you are. And when you do that, when you integrate all of those parts, you'll be not a different person, but more you, but more. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be in. And it's like a place of personal power. And when you share from that place, people just feel you. They just feel what you're saying. Even though they don't fucking get what you're saying. You don't get what you're saying. They don't get what you're saying. It makes no fucking sense, but they feel it. And they know. And they're in. And they're all in. They're like, I'm in 100%. Obviously, it's not everyone, but and then they get it. And then once they're in, they're like, okay, yeah, I get why this resonated so deeply with me. And there's like that deep wisdom that comes from sharing your direct experience. And it feels effortless. It feels effortless. And because it feels effortless, it's something you can keep up for a very long time, i.e., for the rest of your life, as you continue being who you're meant to be in real life. And then you allow your content and your creation to be the reflection of that, like the fruit that comes out of the tree. The tree is the thing that is growing, that is expanding, and then the fruit is obviously just a natural byproduct of that. But you're not trying to manipulate the fruit. You're looking at the environment. Where is this coming from? What does this need to be its fullest, best, highest self-expression? And how can I nurture it so that... And then, of course, there are actions to take. There's pruning to do. There are strategies. There's stuff you can do. But none of that matters if you're not understanding what are you working with and what are its natural strengths and how can I nurture that. This is where words, you get the idea. That's my effortless creation. That's what I call an effortless creation. And it's the hardest thing sometimes, because you have to go through all the inner work. You have to look at yourself. Sometimes you have to improve your own skill set. Yes, you have to work on things. You lose yourself a little bit, or you fall in the illusion of losing yourself or losing your path a little bit. Then you take the wrong exit. You come back. It's work, but it's effortless. You're not trying in the same way. Yeah. A huge part of this is just doing the thing, and again, trusting it and allowing it to be not perfect. When you do that, you discover it just in the process of like For example, let's say you decide you want to start building in public. Most people will start obsessing over which formats. Do I want video or audio? Am I going to do a podcast or YouTube channel? Is it YouTube or LinkedIn? Is it LinkedIn or Instagram? Is it Instagram or Facebook? Am I going to do it Mondays and Tuesdays or Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays? Am I going to do 7 days? Am I going to do a newsletter? What's my niche again? All those things. That's one way to do it, and you can stay here forever and ever and keep like bouncing ideas and keep looking at different people and keep trying different things for like one day and giving up and feeling bad about yourself and making it mean something about yourself, and then you look back after 4-10 years and you're like, well, I haven't made a lot of progress in this thing and I feel like a loser and stuff like that, which is not true. Or you can just fucking do it. You can just decide what is the main thing that you're most excited about and let that be your prioritization way. If you have no idea how to fucking prioritize by what makes you feel alive. Okay, you've tried using your fucking thinking mind for so long, it got you nowhere. Try your heart for a change. Try your fucking feelings for a change instead of shunning them and treating them like they don't fucking matter. They understand things that your thinking mind will never fucking understand. You know why? Because your mind, as powerful as it is, needs to process like trillions, quadrillions, bajillions of bits of information. But your feelings get a reading like that. Like that is the quickest thing. Before you even know what the hell is going on, you feel it. You feel something. That's your first stop, pause, what's going on. It doesn't mean you make decisions based on how you feel. It means that you listen to your feelings and don't dismiss them as this frivolous, weird thing that it's just this glitch. This is how we treat feelings. Like they're a glitch. They're not working. No, you're not happy. Something is not right. Just do something to mask that symptom, or, do something to change the feeling instead of being like, hold on, what are they trying to tell me first? Can I listen? And so try your heart. What lights you up for a change? And if your heart is not lit up, then listen to your feelings, what's going on, because that could be blocking you from your connection to your heart, or at least listening to your heart. Anyway, that's a different topic for a different day. How did I even start talking about this? I don't even remember. I think this is a good time to wrap this up. Do I want to add anything else? I just feel like talking a lot. I'm gonna wrap it up. Come hang out with me. I am going to be doing a workshop /class /hangout on March 23rd, 11 a.m. Central. Go wherever you're seeing this. There should be in the description a link or something to sign up to it. If you put your email, that tells me you're interested, and I will send you a link to join us. If you are on it also, if you can't make it, I might be able to record this and send it to you. But I'd love to see you face to face, and we are going to do a workshop that's related to this kind of stuff, to building your brand of full self-expression. So come with your questions, ask me anything. I'm planning to start doing these things for my Mojo subscribers. So I'll put the link wherever you're watching this so you can RSVP if you're interested, and I would love to see you. March 23rd, 11 a.m. Central. Did I introduce myself? I did not. My name is Aliana Kali. I make videos like these every once in a while, which is quite often nowadays. So if you like listening to me muse about my existence and think about thinking and stuff, and sometimes make sense and sometimes not make sense, and every once in a while drop a nice little thing for you to inspire you on your journey of unclenching your butthole, then subscribe wherever you're seeing this. Wow. That is a powerful call to action right there. Subscribe wherever you're seeing this, I guess. Subscribe. I guess do it.